as we finish our discussion of Locane. And I guess the decision is we draft him after 98. So here you go. Here's the player I really want to talk about the most. Because to me, it's a curiosity. What about Matt Carpenter? Matt Carpenter, 36 home runs in 2018. And then we get to 2019 where the baseball's flying out everywhere and he only hits 15 home runs. He only hits 226. His barrel rate, his hard hit rate, all of his rates that should be high, they all plummet. The Cardinals have now lost Marcell Ozuna. They haven't made any notable additions. And Carpenter, he's 34 years old. Doug Boyle says he's tricky. I agree. This one to me, the thing is, and this is why I want to talk about draft position. Where do you look to draft Matt Carpenter? Okay, obviously he's not a top 10 rounder. Do we agree? But when you get beyond the 10th round, where do you decide? Because I know you're going to. You're going to decide, hey, Carpenter's still there. I got to take a chance on him. What round do you do that? Remember, he's 34. 2009 decline after hitting 36 homers in 18. He had a slugging percentage in 2018 of .523. He had an OPS plus of 143. StatCast metrics backed up all his production. They were no fluke. He had strong track record in the years prior to 2018, and then comes 2019. I think he bounces back. I really do. I think he bounces back, and I think he goes probably, if I'm drafting, I pick him around the 15th or 16th round, and I take a chance. So at 15, he goes like 150 to 180. I'd take a chance on Carpenter in that range for 2020. I've read the reports about bat speed being down, but I got to take a chance on a player if I can get him late. Here's why I think he bounces back. I look at his track history. The track history of Matt Carpenter last year, I think it just was an aberration. I just think he wasn't injured. He's not that I know of. Wasn't fighting injury. Nothing to come back from there. He's going to be in the top of that order. Let's face it, other than Cincinnati, I'm not that carried away with the pitching in the American League Central, particularly from the left-handed side. Now, Carpenter struggles against lefties. But against Pittsburgh's, against the Cubs, and Milwaukee's, I just don't see dominant left-handed starters. I think he will be worth a late-round pick. Finally, this morning, as far as bounce-back potential players, Andrew Benintendi. 2018, he was hitting .290. Andre, here's your boy. But last year, not so much, only .266. He had 615 plate appearances. Red Sox have done nothing this offseason to improve their offense. Do we think that Benintendi falls into the realm of Rafael Devers and improves? Or do we think Benintendi is a .266 hitter and that's what we're going to get? Benintendi, great contact. Is he going to hit the top of the order? A lot of variables here in Boston. It's the most dormant I have seen the Red Sox in quite a while. I mean, I hear talk about trading Mookie Betts, but I don't hear the Red Sox really talking about it. I don't read anything about it in the Boston Globe. I agree. Sam Travis released. Whoopie-doo. Benintendi's probably going to hit near the top of that order. Boston's offense is good. Not a good year last year, and we can attribute it to a long 2018. We can contribute it to Chris Sale not being himself and the mental impact that may play on the team. I don't know what you contribute it to. I do know when you look at that batting order, and you've got Mookie Betts, and you've got Benintendi, and you got J.D. Martinez, and you got Rafael Devers, and you got Xander Bogaerts. I'm telling you, that's a good, really good offense. When you put that left-handed bat, Benintendi, right there in the middle, I don't think he's a 35 home run guy, no. But I think he's better than 266. I think he bounces back. Now, where do we draft Andrew Benintendi in 2020? I had him in 2018. He did really well for me. Is he a top 15 round pick? Do you pick him in the top 180 picks? Let me know, chat room, where you are with that one. I like Benintendi. I'm not in love with Benintendi. I'm not going to pick him in my top 100 picks. The baseball makes a difference. Kevin Hastings just posted a draft preview, how his strikeout rate's up last year. And I wonder sometimes if players overreacted in their swinging to the home run craze in 2019. Did players change their approach at the plate, trying to hit more home runs, and in trying to do so, failed, Benintendi? And will they get back to what they used to do, Benintendi? Hitting the baseball, line driving, because you're that kind of player, Benintendi. Pick around 100, pick around 125, pick around 150. Where do you go with Benintendi? I think he bounces back. I think he puts up better numbers. I like him earlier than later. Let's keep our eye on that one. So that's a look at bounce back candidates 2020. I think tomorrow what I'm going to do is look at free agents, look at positions, look at possible free agents who are still available, teams who have needs, who can fill holes. I'll give you a little preview. How about that? Let's do the catcher position today. Catcher position today. If you're in need for a second catcher, here's a guy that Phil Champlin and I talked about a lot last year. Free agent Robinson Chirinos. He's a 14-year-old veteran. I know he turns 37 in February. But he has had OBPs of 343, 338, and 337. Consistent, huh? Since 2017. He's a great pitch framer. Not that that matters in fantasy. What does matter are the offensive numbers. He has the ability to hit between 15 and 20 home runs. Chirinos could be a great pick for a team who is in need of another catcher. Fantasy-wise, if you're in a two-catcher league, keep your eye on Chirinos. I think he is a steal. I think he's better than some catchers on current rosters who are starting right now. He's consistent. He knows how to catch. He knows how to hit. Any team out there looking for a catcher, you could do worse than Robinson Chirinos. So there's just a little preview to what we're going to do with these remaining free agents tomorrow. I'm going to get out of here. Kevin Hastings is following me. I think Kevin's planning to come on right after I finish. I've enjoyed being with you. I want to thank everybody for being in the chat room. We got 12 active users, it says right now in the chat room. That's freaking incredible. So let's go through. I got several guests in this morning. You know, if you're a guest, that's great. Glad to have you on the Lenny Melnick Fantasy Network. But it would be great if you register. Then we know who you are. We can have a conversation like I have with Timothy Hooker, Kevin Hastings, Rotorius AE, Phil Chaplin, Mal Powell, Lenny, Doug Boyle, Dale, Clarona, Andrea. I can call your name. You can hear your name on the podcast, which broadcasts all across the world, if you'll just register. So register. Man, the guys who own this network, I got in on this thing about, 9 months ago. I was talking to Lenny, and Lenny and I talk, and Lenny's a great friend, and that's the thing about this network. You make friends. Okay, I've made great friends. Lenny, Andrea, Chappie, of course, Kevin, and I'm ready to make more. Doug Boyle does a great job. Great people, great podcasters, great preparation, makes for a great network. And that's what we got. So we're going to continue the fantasy chat. Andrea has a slow draft set up. I'll have to go back and look at all of that. Or maybe, Andrea, you could send me a message in Messenger giving me the link, because I've got to go back up and follow all this conversation that I wasn't able to write down. But I'd like to get in with you. We'll give it a shot. Now you got it, couchmanagers.com. So if you're in the chat room, you want to get in, let's get in and let's see what happens. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Kevin Hastings up next. Have a great day, everybody, from Arnie and Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports.